Hello, I'm EnterElysium. Welcome back, of course, to another episode of Let's Play Aurora 4X. So, we are in our solar system, and it's not great. We aren't blessed with an overabundance of resources. That is one of our chief issues here. However, next door, literally next door, we have enemies. We also, though, have the Kavalan system, which is actually a pretty tasty system. So, right next door, it has 3 planets, which are eventually colonizable. They are colonizable right now, but we wouldn't be able to live on them without a protective habitat. So, here you will see that we have Kavalan A1, Kavalan A2, Kavalan A2 Moon 1, all of which are actually, possibly, colonizable. The colony cost is, 2 point something, but that's nice. That's basically Mars right now. More importantly, if you look at Kavalan A1, you'll see that we have Geranium with a 1 accessibility, Corbomite with a 0.7, Macassium with a 0.8, Saurium with a 0.9, and a little bit of Corundium. A2, Geranium with 1, again, this is 16 million though. Boronide, 0.2, Corundium, 0.1, Galisite, 0.7, and several others, including Moon 15, there we go, which has Corundium, 2/3 of a mil at 1 accessibility, and we actually have an incoming Corundium issue. If we bring up the... Here we go, Corundium. We've got less than 10,000 stockpiled, and we need 16,000 to do what we're planning. That's a bit of an issue. So what I've done is I've clicked colony for these planets as well, just so they're here and ready, and we can have a quick look at them. Likely what we'll do is we'll want to just pretty much ignore Mars. The reason we went for Mars was because, hey, look, it's an easy starting one. And what does it have? 0.4 accessibility Geranium. That's a lot of effort to put in to get some Geranium. 0.1 Boronide, 0.1 Saurium. They're nothing, really. We don't have any mines, but I've set the mass drivers to fire off at Earth anyway. So, I think what we'll do is we'll start with trying to get the Kavalan system habitable. Firstly, taking infrastructure over there, then taking people over there, then putting some automated mines over here to get our Corundium, maybe fire that to Kavalan A1, and then putting some mines on Kavalan A1. At the same time, we'll try and actually terraform Kavalan A1. I know that normally the point is you terraform Mars first because it's nearby. Then you terraform, like, the moon or Europa or whatever the hell you care about. But I think, for us, we're just going to go straight out system. We're going to go, screw it. Why not? We're going to go straight to Kavalan. Because that's where all the money lies. Hello, Kavalan. And, we've got a Lagrange point. So you can actually jump from Lagrange point 2 to 1 directly, if we want to. Have a jump point there to Avindian. All the good stuff's relatively close in system. Nothing outside. Okay, well, firstly, we need a jump point on this side. If we're going to do anything interesting, we'll need not a jump point, a jump gate. We're going to need a jump gate so we can jump back from there without a jump drive. So, let us call up Tokyo. Are you still busy? You're not. Excellent. So, go to the Kavalan jump point. Standard transit. And then, on the other side, build a gate pack on the solid jump point. And that'll take it half a year. In the meantime, let's grab our freighters. I think they're busy. Yeah, they're still doing that, the Paris class. Are we building the Ruon class freighter that we worked on? I can't remember if we did. You're retooling for the Ruon. Yeah, we literally just told you to retool, and you're going to be done 1st of October. Okay. So the Ruon is just going to be the main bulk freighter, and I think what we'll do is we use the Ruon to take stuff through to Kavalan. But we also have Terraform module we're working on. And I think this is going to be very useful, because if we can make Kavalan habitable quicker, we don't need to worry about infrastructure. We're no longer capped by infrastructure, which means that we don't need to provide it. And second, it means that people don't need to be employed to work on infrastructure. They can just work on, actually useful stuff like research labs or mines, particularly mines. So instead of having to, effectively, they're people who work on the infrastructure to keep them alive, like they're people who maintain their habitats, etc., or maintain the oxygen pumps, or whatever it is. Instead of having to do that, because they can just live outside because there's an atmosphere. They can work on other stuff. They don't need to spend all their time just trying to stay alive. So we're actually going to bump the terraforming module. And I'm going to temporarily remove a load of people. And chuck you on the terraforming module. Yeah, we'll bring it up to... I want one more. There we go. 21st of July. So that should be done in a couple of months. And we'll skip forwards. So, of course, we are still streaming this. Oh, hello. An active research lab. I think we just built one. On Twitch. And I'll be occasionally getting their input. I'll let it to you. It doesn't really matter where we put it in. We're going to change it completely when we're doing the terraform module. Okay, so it should be just another 30-day skip into July should give us it. Yeah, right, we're done terraform module. They've launched a colony ship. God damn it. They should launch some freighters, please. And the Maxwell is having problems in the Vindian, which is the one over from Kavalan, because there's nothing there. Let's check in on you. Oh no, it's carrying out a special survey order. So it's falling back on its secondary order. Hey, that's fine. That's fine. Don't you worry about that. FYI, people have asked why I'm building combined survey ships, ones that survey for grav and for minerals, rather than just one ship for one ship for the other. Mostly just for simplicity at this stage. You can make both. You can make a ship that looks for minerals and one that looks for grav survey points, and I normally do make two separate ships. I just went for a combined ship just for simplicity for this game. But both is actually what I normally do. Right, let's look at our research. So, do we want to grab terraforming rate? 0.0012 atmospheres. This means that each terraforming module will put out that much atmosphere per year. I think we do. And technically the 65% would be faster than the 15, but the 15 would get a chance to practice and get better. So, probably make you do that. How long will you take? Till October. Sure. Now, here's a really good thing about the terraforming rate. This doesn't need you to rebuild a module. If you build a ship with a terraforming module on it, you don't need to build another ship to take advantage of the new tech. This isn't a new tech. It's actually just an upgrade. So if you have a terraforming module and you then get this research, your terraform modules across the entire empire, ones that are installed in ships already, will just get better. You don't need to refit, you don't need to overhaul. They will just be good. So what we will do is we will go to the ship I made earlier. It's literally just an empty ship. I wanted to check something. Currently called the Invincible. We're going to rename it, and we're renaming our orbital habitats. Wrong one. Ship naming convention. After deities. And having had a chat with Twitch chat, we are going to rename you to Gaia, which would be the Titan from Greek mythology who got with Cronus, I believe, and then they had Zeus, something like that. So we are going to make you a scroll down. Keep scrolling down. Terraforming base. I don't think we have the research required to build it just yet. We need orbital habitat. So the idea for this ship is it's going to be an orbital habitat. That means that it doesn't get built at normal dockyards. It's much bigger. It's effectively like a big space station. Rather than being like a ship, it's a space station. Normally they're meant to be tugged places. I don't care. I normally put engines on them just so they can. And then we'll just put a tiny little engine. It'll take ages to get anywhere, but it will be massive. It will employ, hundreds of thousands of people, and we'll chuck a ton of terraform modules on it. But to do that, we need... I believe it comes under logistics. Orbital habitat. There we go. Of course, we've got a 0% person. I could train you up, but there's no point. So I'll remove all of your labs. You know, I'll remove all of your labs as well. And I'll remove all but one of yours. Just so we can get it done really quick. There you go, 17th of October. I'll keep going forwards. Supply the Macassium Mercury. That's fine. We weren't really going for Macassium Mercury anyway. The Einstein. You've been out for a while. We should probably call you back. I don't want to leave you out too long, because if they do stay out too long past their normal date and they run out of supplies, then if they have a failure, they can just explode. Because they're like, quick! The engine's failing! We need a half wrench and 3, I don't know, engineering stuff. Look, okay, you know, whatever. They're like, look, I need a 2x4 to fix the engine. I don't know why they need a 2x4, but in this instance, let's just say they're like, quick, I need a 2x4 to fix the engine. Oh no, we're out of 2x4s. What do you mean we're out of 2x4s? Well, we've been out, 3 months past our due date to come in. So we're out of 2x4s. Yeah, we are. Oh no, we're going to explode. And basically, then everyone dies. And that can happen. So we don't really want their maintenance supplies to hit 0. That would be bad. But they have, 280 left. So I'm okay with leaving them for a little bit longer. Yeah, I know. I don't know why they're fixing a spaceship with a 2x4, but hell, whatever works, right? Okay, the Hawking completed her overhaul. What's the Hawking doing again? Are you viable? I guess technically you are viable. You're just very slow. Just very, very slow. But technically viable. I guess we could use you. Sure. Okay, I guess go to Kavalan. Go to Avidian. Oh wait, do you have a jump drive? Yeah, you do. Okay, yeah, just go there. It'll take you like a year, but whatever. Twitch chat is telling me that it is not slow. The Hawking is graceful. It's slow. Oh, if we're going to do that, we also need to tell the Hawking to actually have its default orders back on. Oh, it's got its default orders on. Sweet. Yeah, Twitch is also telling me that, they actually do use 2x4s to fix current military warships. And they do that for a very good reason. Ooh, hello. We got the orbital habitation. And we retooled for the Ruon class at Windermere. Sweet! Okay. Well, let's start building some Ruons. Bam. Okay, alright. Well, these are named after French cities, right? So we need the Ruon. Wait, are these French cities or are they rivers? Commercial facts are rivers. Commercial capitals are cities, right? So yeah, this is a city. Now the issue is we have had several French cities already. So let's just check which French cities we've had. We've had Versailles, we've had Paris, we've had Marseille. We've had Lyon. So we can't have those anymore. What other French cities can we name them then? So we're going to have the Ruon. I'm looking at Twitch chat now. Toulouse. Oh, good point. Toulouse. Calais. Yeah, that's a good name for a trade ship. Also, I know commercial facts aren't a thing. I just put it in the list because the list was following a set pro forma. Yeah, no, commercial facts aren't a thing because a commercial engine has to be minimum size 1,250 tons and a fact has to be 1,000 tons or less. Right, so with that done, we can have a look at our orbital habitation and we'll fix the research. So I'll add a little bit to the research rate for terraforming. It doesn't need to be done super fast. Missiles, however, I would like a better missile. And I'd like to increase the strength of my grav sensors very much. Try and get them done at roughly the same time. There we go, within a day of each other. Right. Where are we with the Gaia? So, currently you can see this is classed as a commercial vessel for maintenance purposes. We're going to add an orbital hab module. Suddenly, it is also classed as a orbital habitation for construction purposes. That means that for maintenance purposes, it won't need, you know, the normal, oh, you need lots of failures and stuff, so you need MSP and maintenance and whatever. But it also means that it is now constructed like an orbital habitat, which means that you can construct it using industry, using your commercial factories, rather than having to put it into like a, you know, a space dock and do all the things that you normally do. You can actually just build it in the same way you build a research lab or whatever. So that's going to be quite useful. So let's start stripping stuff off. I think we still need a bridge. Yeah, it's going to complain if I take that off. We'll get rid of the fuel storage, put the bridge back on. What we will need, though, is a crap ton of terraforming modules. So let's put these on. Now, notice that each terraform module is 25,000 tons. This is a reason that I'm going to build this as an orbital habitat rather than just as a ship. Because if I want a ship, I will need one terraforming module. Oh, that's great. That's one terraforming module. That's lovely. That's 25,000 tons. Okay. How many are we going to need? We're probably going to need about 30. So that's 30 ships. Or maybe 15 ships with 2 of them. As an orbital habitat, I can be like, that's 10, that's 20, that's 30. And yeah, we now weigh 1 million tons. Sue me. Whatever. 30 modules provides 0.03 atmospheres per annum. That's why I want to get our tech up for that. That's not a lot. It's a start, though. Dear Lord, that's low. Now. What else do we need? We need an engine. And I want the most efficient engine possible. I don't really care about the speed. So, we've got one here. We're going to put 10 of them on. And notice that 10 of them gets us a speed of 116 kilometers per second. It's gonna be so slow. But it'll do its job. We're going to have to try and up that. You know, minimum I want 800. And FYI, a lot of that weight comes from the orbital habitat at 250,000 tons. 10 terraformers is the same as one orbital habitat. Just to let you know. I think we might increase the number of terraformers to 50. So it's going to take us like 20 years to get a single atmosphere of atmosphere. I mean, people don't need atmosphere. I think they need like 0.5 atmosphere. I think that's the lowest atmosphere you can go, and you can go up to 4 atmospheres for humans. Off the top of my head, that might be wrong. Often that's not the deciding factor. Often the deciding factor is just based on oxygen amount. Twitch chat's telling me 0.3 atmospheres for people. Oh, 0.3 to 3 atmospheres. Can I actually check this up here? Maximum deviation atmosphere, 0.1. Oh, that's for oxygen content. Yeah, it doesn't actually say for maximum pressure. There we go. 4 is the maximum pressure. I thought 4 was the maximum pressure. And there is no minimum pressure, but the minimum pressure is determined by how much you can go on oxygen. And oxygen can only be up to a third of the atmosphere. 30% of the atmosphere. And the minimum amount of oxygen you can have for people is 1 atmosphere. So with 0.1 atmosphere. So 0.1 atmosphere, but it has to be a third, means that you need 0.3 atmospheres. That makes sense. Okay, right. I don't know if you got that, but it's more niche advanced. It's more intermediate knowledge, right? You don't need it to get into the game immediately, but it is very helpful to understand. So with this, we now have ourselves... This is a pretty large 1.7 millions. It's not the largest orbital habitat by any means, but for this point in the game, it's going to take quite a while to build. 50 terraforming modules. The engines, we would want a few more, I think, just to get it up. There we go, 900 kilometers per second. Twitch chat is telling me they understood that. If you understood that, well done. You think fast enough that this might actually be useful let's play for you. We also now need fuel, because we literally have 0 fuel on board. The issue with giving a terraforming base engines is that it takes a lot of engines to move it, because it's massive. It also means that means you're going to put a lot of fuel in it, and terraforming bases, especially in the early game, end up as basically giant fuel reserves. I mean, late game, whatever, you've got enough fuel banging around, but early game, you'll give this a third of your fuel. Maybe more. Because, as you watch, we're going to put 10 large fuel reserves on. A range of 13.9 billion kilometers. And that's, 2.5 billion units of fuel. That's not enough. There we go. Range of 55 billion kilometers. 10 million fuel. We don't quite need that. I tend to go for 20 billion. So I'll reduce that a little bit. $28. Reduce that by 5. 21. Yeah, 21 seems reasonable. Maybe try and get to 22 just for a little bit of safekeeping. 22.2 billion. Sweet. And I think that's gonna work. So what we have is we have 50 terraform modules, 140 engines. I think most of the build time is still taken up by terraform modules. Yeah, 73% of the build time is that. 15% of the build time is the engines itself. Okay. Terraforming base, Gaia. Excellent. And we will lock the design. I think that's good. Now, before we go anywhere, I will just go over something that we haven't done so far, and that is, there is a thing up here, mark obsolete. You can obsolete ships so they don't show up in your ability to build the ships, because they're annoying. Like, for instance, Security. Very outdated. Lovely craft, was really helpful, but is completely outdated for us. So we don't want to build this, so we're going to mark it as obsolete. The Einstein actually has an Einstein mod, so we're going to obsolete that, because we don't see that. We only want to see the mod. Hawking, I actually don't want to build the Hawking anymore, so I'm going to mark that as obsolete. The Paris, we're building the Ruon now. The Paris is actually running on iron drives, so we're going to obsolete the Paris. The Pretoria, you've got a mod, so we're going to get rid of you, so the mod is the one we're using. Pulsar, Ruon, Tokyo, Washington Fuel Harvester. Yeah, so we've obsoleted the ones that we care about. And in theory, they shouldn't show up now. If we go to shipyard tasks, manage shipyards, and if we were to retool, yeah, notice that we don't have the Pretoria non-mod. We only have the A in Beijing, the Pretoria, the Ruon, the Tokyo, and the Washington. I don't want to do that task, so I won't select it. And if we were going to, retool you, we don't see the Einstein non-mod one. That's a good way of keeping that less cluttered. So, with our orbital habitat ready, if we go to industry, and we tone down our financial centers to 20%, that leaves us 40% 3. And we go over to here, we go to build PDC/orbital habitat, orbital habitat Gaia. It is going to cost 14,000 uranium, 13,000 boronide, and some other stuff, including 5,000 galisite. Okay. So, start building. Apparently it's not allowing me to click the create button. There we go. Changing normally helps that out. And that will be done in 4 years' time on the 25th of April. So take about 3.5 years at 40% of our industry, which is about what I expected. People in Twitch chat, by the way, are telling me that a recreation module is needed. A recreation module is not needed for a terraforming ship, because it doesn't affect terraforming speed. Recreation is needed to fix morale issues, etc. on an orbital habitat. Recreation modules are large. They are huge. I don't need one, because I don't suffer from any problems with morale, because it's just a commercial ship. And the only things that commercial ships have that's affected by morale, I believe, is... commercial ships are affected for survey purposes, which means geo-survey, because Grav is military. But other than that, you don't need a recreation module. A recreation module allows you to do stuff like shore leave at them, because it allows people to basically get off their ships and be like, yeah, I can go to the casino, or whatever the recreation module is. Luckily, civilians don't need recreation. Whoa. It's also assumed that as a commercial ship, we don't have tight constraints on things, so there are people running small ventures, and there's recreation rooms, etc. That's why commercial ships are a lot bigger and less costly and stuff, is because they're considered to be, kind of messy internally. I don't know, it doesn't have to be a casino, it could be anything. A spa day, a recreation module could have spas or something. Dubious betting places. Whatever. So I think we're good to carry on now. It is useful having Twitch shut there to just ask those questions, because I know that those are exactly the sort of questions which will show up in the YouTube comments. And it's good to be able to give you that feedback immediately. A civilian mining colony has been established. Okay. What do you have on here? Sorium. Yeah, okay, I'm down for that. I will buy your output. This is going to put us negative on the wealth again, because it costs us 250 for each complex. There's 3 complexes, so that's 750. We will mass drive that to Earth. Right, there we go. Often when it's doing this loading thing and you get the spinning circle, I try and get it over the star, see how exactly I can. Luckily, we're not in that late game period where that's an all-consuming game. Right. You're good, you're good, you're good. Yeah, I feel we need to bring the Einstein back now. Its maintenance supplies are down to 229. It could survive a while longer, but I would probably forget. So we're going to get you to show all pops. Remove what you've currently got. Go to Earth. Refuel. Then, annoyingly, that pops away and changes the list because it's now considered to be in Earth. Resupply. Begin overhaul. And we will go back to Sol. The Tokyo's also completed orders. So if we select the Tokyo, we will build a gate on the Avinian jump point. Not on the other side of it, but just on the one way, so we can leave from Kvalan to Avindian if we want. And then we'll just bring you back to Earth, I feel. Also, people have asked, and I will now be displaying the thing like this so you can see the date in the top corner. You can always see the date, by the way, when I bring up this screen, there is the date here. A lot of the screens have that, but people have asked for the date to be displayed, so I will leave it up like this in future rather than taking that off screen, just to give you more space. People want it, so in future you will get this bar at the top of the screen. Schrodinger's completed orders. Right, the Schrodinger. Wait, you're twice as fast as the Hawking, and we told the Hawking to go. Does the Hawking have a busted engine? The Hawking must have a busted engine. God damn it, I just sent the Hawking out. Whoops. Okay, Scenic Giant. And then Williamson. Hawking. Let's look at the Hawking in the list over here. Yeah, one of the engines is busted. Do you have... You have some MSP. Begin damage control. So what this is a screen that you normally use more for the result of combat than you do for actually, you know, fixing something that's gone wrong with an exploration ship. But... Damage control. Damage system. One of our engines is damaged. Begin damage control. Let's put it in here. You can also click add to queue stuff up. And then we've got this being fixed over here. And that will use our MSPR maintenance supply points, which we currently have on 44.3. Let's speed up time again and jump forwards. Now, there's still that possibility at some point that they're going to jump through from Liara or Empros and start to be aggressive. So we do want to actually build military ships, but we're waiting for... There we go. Levitated Pit Implosion Warhead and Active Grav Strength 21. That's useful. Right. In terms of research, what do we want to do? We can't really do compressed carbon armor, that's 40,000. Probably like a basic laser weapons? No. I think we're going to stick with Gauze just for our early ships. It's too much hassle to go and try and do laser weapons as well right now. And we have Gauze for defensive fire purposes if we need it. Improving our missiles is easy enough to do. Power propulsion. The Tokamak is a little bit far away. Engine power modifiers tempting. Jump drive efficiency, again, really tempting. But only 10% bonuses. Straight up, that's brutal. That is killing us right now. Electronic warfare might take a little bit too long to do. I feel that we're getting to that point where we need to build ourselves some military ships. Is there anything we want to do before building military ships? I don't think there is. I think this is the military ship time. Huh. We probably want to grab something like fuel storage very large. Just because it is a very handy fuel storage container being larger. It saves a little bit on the cost of the fuel storage if you were to build like multiple small ones. But I think it's time to start on the Grand Fleet. In terms of shields, I know it's been suggested right now, and Twitch chat and people are probably suggesting that. Shields only get useful when you get them up to like tier 4 or whatever. And that would take a while to get up to. Probably not going to bother with shields until we get later on. Like that's going to be like our second tier fleet. Like the fleet after this fleet. Yeah. We could do flag bridge, but we're only going to have 2 types of ship, so I doubt we'll need anything as fancy as a flag bridge. I think this is good. I don't think there's anything else I desperately want here, so I'm just going to go straight into construction production. I will tell our amazing construction production person to start work on a research rate buff. And I'll give you, 16. Even though it's 28,000 or whatever, you'll still get it done in a year and a half. And then we'll go to missiles kinetics, and we will grab probably... Oh, missile reload rate is really helpful. Yeah, how long would that take? (23rd of May). Okay, that's when we'll build our new fleet. When we get missile launcher reload rate 3. Because by that point... I also want magazine feed efficiency and magazine ejection system. Magazine feed efficiency makes your magazines larger. Ejection system means that if your magazine explodes, then there's a good chance you'll eject it before it happens. But at 4,000 each, it's a case of can we be able to wait that long? The reload rate, sure, I could wait for. But those as well. It only has to be a crappy first fleet, right? We just need a fleet that can, if we get attacked, defend ourselves and maybe take out one or two odd ships that happen to come across. But this is not a naval engagement fleet if we can avoid it. So I probably can skip these. It's not perfect. I wish that wasn't the case, but we can skip them. So what we'll do is we'll skip forwards until we get to May. We have a stronger warhead now. We could just start making new missiles immediately. And we could do it. But there would be less point. Just because it would take time. And I would have to start building whole new missiles. Direct completer overhaul. Okay, Dirac. The Hawking's back up to speed. Excellent. Yeah, we'll send you back out. And I think we'll send you to this unexplored jump point off of Norrie. Norrie is literally right next to us, so I think we do have to explore the unexplored jump point. I was going to try and avoid exploring too many unexplored jump points, but since I'll bring you the map. Norrie is right here. We're here. I think we need to know what comes off of here. Just for, you know, defensive purposes. I'll move you. Anticipating encountering hostiles. There we go. We'll stay positions. All good. Okay. Asteroid minus Sol 2 has reached its target, which I believe was Brooks, right? Yeah, orbital mining module 76. Great. And Helios. Yeah, you'll be finished with the ore here in 5.7 years for the Iridium. Everything else is going to be finished in about 1.5. So we'll eventually send a ship past to collect this, or... Oh, I've got mass driver now. Yeah! Great, shoot it back to Earth. Thank you. Finally built that mass driver. Excellent, thank you very much. That's going to be very helpful to us. Alright, if we shoot that back to Earth, we should be okay. Okay, we now have a new system. It looks pretty dead. Oh well. Right, we need to open our patron naming sheet. Doo-doo-doo. Aurora, this is the Ronin fight system. Okay. It doesn't have much in it, which is a shame. Iridium system, you are the Ronin fight system. Oh, look, an error 5. That happens occasionally. Most errors you get used to and you can ignore. Some of the errors are important, especially recurring errors or errors that have major issues. As you play the game, you get used to, oh, that's an error I can ignore. We'll go to Sol. There we go. Beep. And the Everest dockyard has had a slipway added. Okay, I believe we've done all the research we can in Avindian, right? Yeah, because the Hawking is going to do this one. And the Maxwell's basically saying, I don't have something I can have for myself. So I will get you to jump through to Wintermute. Unless you want to jump through an explore... Screw it! Jump through an explore jump point! What could possibly go wrong, eh? Everything could go wrong. How long till the tech's done? 4 days. Okay, we'll do a 5-day skip. Okay, so we built the first group of Ruon class. We've added another slipway, and we did our launcher reload rate. Excellent. I think we'll just load people onto this research rate for now. That way we'll get it done. God, we'll get it done this year. Damn, you are good. You are very good. Okay, I'll close it up. So, we've got the new group of Ruons. We've got Sulfurators. I think what we'll do is we will detach the Kyoto to its own ship. Because we know that that's never going to operate with anyone else, because it's a jump gate construction ship. We will also probably want to split the pulsars off. So we will rename your as space and then Sol Picket Force. Normally I'd go Sol Defense Force, the SDF, but they are only facts. As soon as we get a proper fleet, they'll be the SDF, but this is just a picket force. Are you all reloaded? Let's just check. Have you all got full ammo, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Then we'll want to grab you guys, and split you off. And then rename... Oh, wrong one. Delete that task group. Rename space Sol Freighters 2. And so your job is going to be to set up some lovely colony over in the next system. So we will go to Earth. We want to grab any infrastructure you've got lying around. Load that infrastructure. Then jump through to Kavalan. And I believe it was Kavalan 2 off the top of my head. I could be wrong. Let's have a quick look. Kavalan 2, would you like to remind me what you got? Oh, you could not. That's fine. We could just load this forever. Kavalan. No, it's Kavalan 1. It'll run out faster, because it's only got like 1.7 million, but it has more stuff. And by the time that runs out, we will be well and truly established. And it has corundium in a limited amount. The more important part is this moon. Moon 15. There we go. Corundium. There we go. So it was the A1 or whatever it was. Let's open the task group again. I'd like you to go to Kavalan A1 with population of 0. Unload your infrastructure. Again, an inter-system drop. That's pretty cool. And then go back to Sol. Go back to Earth. Refuel. Resupply. And actually just do that on repeat. I mean cycle move. The reason I'm putting on cycle move is so that basically they take all the infrastructure that we have on Earth. It won't take them long to do. Now, where's our colony ships? You are slower, which is good, because by the time you get there... Load colonists. Go to Kavalan. The infrastructure should be there already, and we will unload colonists. Come back to Sol. Come back to Earth. Refuel, resupply. And I won't cycle that. I'll probably just tell them to do it like another 9 times, so they do that 10 times around. I don't take too many people off Earth, which you can do by mistake. Right. Oh, that's all done. One thing I want to check is the amount of infrastructure we're building on Earth, because I believe we are not building enough, which is correct. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll take 10 of this, and I will apply that to infrastructure. Build me like 10,000. Which actually is only going to take like 8 years at 10%. 10,000 is going to be enough for like pretty much the rest of the game. Infrastructure will get built as well by, I think it's like civilian concerns or something, start building infrastructure or whatever on planets where there is people with infrastructure. I can't remember what the deal is, but the infrastructure is generated in the game somehow. And we're ready to build an entire military fleet. That means designing 2 ships, because I believe we only have the 2 spare shipyards. Yeah, 15,000 ton and 11,000 ton. We might need to increase the size ever so slightly, you know, by 200 tons here and 200 tons there, but whatever. We could, in theory, get a 9,000 ton if we wanted to make this not produce Einsteins anymore. That's an option. That's a perfectly viable option. We have a fair few survey craft right now. And 3 classes would be much easier to manage, because you'll need certain roles. You know, you'll need an attacky ship, you'll need a defendy ship, and you'll need, you know, a jump ship. You can always bodge them together. We'll see. I'm thinking we'll probably end up retooling this to actually build a 9,000 ton ship. But for now, we're going to call it here. I've been EnterElysium. If you'd like, you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. When we get back next episode, we're going to be building an entire fleet. And that's going to be fun. You'll get to do the entire design process, not just for facts, but actually for a full-on fleet. I've been EnterElysium. Like, subscribe, stay shiny.